Glee actor Cory Monteith had been struggling with addiction since his teens, but no one could have anticipated his sudden death or what caused it.
You can take a kid off the streets, but you can't take the streets out of the kid.
We knew Cory Monteith battled demons, but we didn't know how big they were until now. According to the BC Coroner's Office, the Canadian died from a lethal mix of heroin and alcohol in the early hours of July 13th.
There was evidence in the room that was consistent with a drug overdose.
According to reports, the 31-year-old was using both heroin and meth when Friends and Glee co-stars staged an intervention earlier this year. But the question remains, how did this clean-cut Hollywood star manage to maintain the double life of a successful actor in LA and a drug addict back home in Vancouver?
Everybody knew that when he went back to Vancouver, it was party time. He was on his own turf. Now, I would have been very leery as a counselor of letting him go back to Vancouver.
Monteith appeared in good health following his brief stint at the Betty Ford Center in California and was determined to stay sober. It's unclear when he fell off the wagon, but friends who knew of his illness were supportive through his recovery. While more details from the coroner are expected in the coming days, the Vancouver PD have closed their investigation. It's believed he took the drug alone once he returned to his hotel just after 2 a.m.
There's absolutely nothing at this point, no evidence to suggest this is anything other than the most sad and tragic accident.
Left to pick up the pieces of this tragic death is Monteith's girlfriend and Glee co-star Lea Michele, whose reps told People, quote, "Lea is deeply grateful for all the love and support she's received from family, friends, and fans. Since Cory's passing, Lea has been grieving alongside his family and making appropriate arrangements with them." And now that we know how Cory Monteith died, we are left to wonder what happens next for his family, friends, and even the hit show Glee. Thor Diakow is in Vancouver with the latest.
Sources at the Vancouver airport tell Entertainment City that Cory's close friends and work colleagues have arrived here from Los Angeles. They flew private jets and were given a police escort to the hotel here. Now, Cory and Lea Michele always stayed at the Vancouver Fairmont Pacific Rim while in town, and they shared many memories here. Cory particularly enjoyed it because of its proximity to the seaplane terminal, which he would often use to visit his family in Victoria. Glee co-star Mark Salling is also in Vancouver to talk to Cory's friends and try to piece together just what went wrong. Now, Glee was supposed to start production on Monday. Cory was supposed to check out of the hotel and get back to work, but the show is now under a 14-day production hiatus. In Vancouver, I'm Thor Diakow for Entertainment City.
Thank you, Thor. And switching gears now, Miley Cyrus has transformed before our very eyes. And if you still think of her as Hannah Montana, well, then you haven't seen her latest video for We Can't Stop. Adam Wilde sat down with a 20-year-old who had some words for those who second-guessed her Pharrell collaboration on the record.
Watching people eat their words.
From Daft Punk to Robin Thicke, everything Pharrell touches turns to gold these days. But that wasn't always the case. People advised her not to work with a producer, but she did it anyway.
Pharrell is still, I feel like, especially to like my generation, like he's like a living like legend to us, and that's what I grew up listening to, and now hearing him back on the radio so much, it just feels good.
His talent isn't the only reason Cyrus loved working with Pharrell.
It was dope making the record with him, because I would go into the booth, come out, jump in the pool, be in Miami, hang out, go back in, work till late. It was like the best experience ever. It's like, doesn't feel like work.
When Miley wrapped production of her new record, she took her tracks for a test run.
It's really about when people are on their own, when they're listening to it in their car. I always do the Prius check too. I'm like, everyone in LA drives a Prius, so I gotta make sure it sounds good in the Prius.
Come this September, you can hear Miley's new record in your own car of choice. And we'll have more of that sit-down interview with Miley in the weeks to come. And now from music to movies, the long-awaited Red sequel is ready to hit theaters, and our Jill Belland had a chat with one of the stars, Helen Mirren, who, as it turns out, is quite fond of a particular weapon.
Are you a good shot?
Yeah, I think I'm probably not a bad shot. But, you know, me and guns, I'm not too sure about guns myself, you know. I think I'd like a bow and arrow.
Aha!
More than a gun.
Right,
you know.
Weapon of choice.
Yeah, weapon of choice for me, I think, would be a bow and arrow. There's something kind of beautiful about this.
Oh, that does
And
look
there's
good.
something elegant. I love the precision of it.
that a stick of dynamite in your pocket?
I want to ask you, without spoiling too much, the Queen scene, was that
Yes.
scripted or was that improvised?
No, that was improvised.
It was?
That was improvised. And it was my idea to do it as that particular queen, who I have played before. And I love the fact that afterwards Victoria sort of thinks she's just not sure that her performance was really good enough, and yeah. And I personally, I know that feeling very well.
All right, we want to know what you think about the latest developments in the Cory Monteith case. You can send us a tweet at NCity.